Welcome to Pivoting to Web3 Podcast, where experts break down AI, blockchain, and tech shaping our future. I'm Donna, and today's guest has insights you won't want to miss. Let's dive in. Welcome to Pivoting to Web3, and I'm excited today because I have Candice Jarrett, and Candice is the founder of Xkova. I really should say co-founder. I don't see her partner here with her today, but I was glad to get Candice because she's got a lot going on. She knows a lot about crypto. Many of us are not too sure what's happening with crypto, if it's good, bad, or ugly, but she's going to be able to help us really understand what's happening and why, especially with all the emerging trends in technology that we're hearing about in AI, blockchain, and just so much going on, especially in today's world. So here you go. Candice, say hello to our audience and let us know how you ended up being the co-founder of Xkova and what is Xkova?
Hi, Donna. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm really excited to be on your show. So I guess we'll start with apologies first that my co-founder's not here, but we are shipping a new feature of Xkova that he's also a developer, so he's working on it. Like he's been working nonstop. So this has fallen to me, but I will carry the team.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Let him keep working. Let him develop.
Yeah, let him do his blockchain thing. So Xkova is consumer infrastructure for, I promise it's cooler than it sounds. It's consumer infrastructure that uses blockchain technology, but abstracts it so that way the blockchain is underneath. So you can think of, imagine if Venmo or PayPal used blockchain, but looked just as they do now. So basically, anybody who already uses any payment app in the Web2 world, which is the world that we all currently live in, can use these apps that we've developed with Xkova and get the benefits of blockchain without that steep learning curve. So it looks just like a regular app, but it uses blockchain underneath.
So with that said, it's blockchain is basically the foundation, the technological foundation of Xkova. So your interface or your end user interface is pretty simplistic, still looking like
Yes.
Web 2, but is really rolling on Web 3.
Yes.
What is the benefit of having it on Web 3 or blockchain? Why is that underneath?
Well, a lot. It depends on who's using it. So just say you're a small business and right now you use Stripe
Mhm.
with your checkout when people buy things through e-commerce through your website. Well, people who use that know that you're going to be paying like 2.9% plus 30-cent transaction fees every time a customer buys something from you. But if you use Xkova, then we can lower that by 80%. So you'll be saving so much money just by having people check out normally through your website. And the end user doesn't see any difference. They just see pay with PayPal, pay with Stripe, pay with Xkova, or see Xkova's white label infrastructure. So we can have companies, purchase instances of Xkova and use it themselves. So, and they can each have their own different benefits to it. Like one of the things that we built in was cashback rewards. So if a company is using an Xkova instance and they say they want to offer, 2% cash back or whatever it is, then that's an additional incentive for both the e-commerce store
Mhm.
using Xkova and also for the customer to pay with Xkova. So it can have a lot of different benefits. One of the other benefits is P2P payments. So just say you live in one country, but maybe your family lives in a different country and you want to send them money, that can be very costly and expensive and time consuming to do now. With Xkova, it would be free to do P2P payments with one particular instance of it that we've developed that uses USDC and instant. There's no waiting days to get your money. You just get it in less than a second. So it's faster, it's cheaper by using blockchain as the payment rails instead of like the traditional payment rail system. So, but Xkova doesn't just have to use stable coins. Like the examples I've given you now are mostly for people who be using a stable coin, which is a coin pegged to a fiat currency like the US dollar or like the euro. But Xkova, as I mentioned, we're white label, so it can also be used for what we call token economies. So we have, and this is what my dev is working on now, my dev co-founder. He is creating a version of Xkova that runs on Bitcoin. So that way you can do
Oh.
Bitcoin payments, lightning fast, super cheap. So not only P2P payments, but also e-commerce shopping. So yeah, it's very exciting. So it can be any token. It doesn't have to be just a stable coin. So this helps mass adoption, right? Because like there's so many token economies that have the problem of trying to onboard people because you have to explain to them how to install a wallet, how to add multiple networks, what a seed phrase is. And unfortunately, there's also a lot of scammers. Like anybody in crypto knows that like people who are new to the space get targeted relentlessly by people trying to drain their wallets, basically. So by flattening the learning curve, we believe that we're helping onboard people and make crypto actually fun for them to use and easy. So not just what I was talking about, like, you know, for stablecoins, but really for any currency, like Bitcoin, for example.
So even though it's so easy to use, you have all the benefits of a blockchain,
Yeah,
all the features of a blockchain, the
yeah.
security, the immutability, everything is blockchain. So in my mind, that means anybody overseas or underprivileged or in any environment where fintech is taking place, or they don't have identity, they're still able to have some type of ecosystem around their community and they can build from there, even with Xkova.
Yes, absolutely. So Xkova can be helpful for people who are unbanked or underbanked, because you can open in just 3 clicks a business account with Xkova and start selling things and you know, creating commerce on the app without needing, you know, like a separate institution in order to do that. And then within, well, there's many facets to it, but I'll also mention that it's helpful for places that are hit by war, economic instability, rampant inflation, because those places can choose to transact in a more stable currency, for example, the US dollar. So there are places all over the world that are in these situations, and many millions and millions of people who could benefit from an app that is incredibly easy to use, that you can ultimately select what kind of currency. Now you'd have to select what kind of currency by choosing which instance of Xkova you wanted to use. They're not all in one app. That's part of making it easy. But yes, it will help people who are in very desperate situations.
So I'm kind of curious now. You got me thinking. I like the idea. It sounds good. Sounds too good. So who's your customer? Who can really utilize this in the United States or overseas, Africa? Who is really your customer? A business, enterprise, small, a big brand?
Well, it's a global product, so it can really go anywhere. But the thing is that we are white label infrastructure. So Xkova's direct customer would be blockchains, stablecoins, and protocols, any token economy. So we, as Xkova, my co-founder and I, are going to be operating our own instance of Xkova, which has a separate name, which is just like, you know, the Bitcoin version. Each one of the apps has its own name, but when you use it, if you know what Xkova is, you'll be like, oh, I recognize this, because
Okay.
it looks similar. It just has a different logo, color scheme, different token. So our direct customers are stablecoins and protocols, but the masses, like regular people, will use it all over the world, and they will be our customers' customers.
So how does AI impact this in any way? Is it a benefit? Has it clouded the issue, or what is happening in that regard?
Well, Xkova doesn't directly use AI itself, but I think that AI has done some very exciting things for the landscape. So I would say that people are, with the dawn of AI, have woken up a little bit to the fact that the world is changing technologically, like right now at this minute in time. And it's because people have been able to use AI at their jobs already, and in their life. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but kids are using it for their homework. Like, maybe they shouldn't do that, but it really has changed every facet of people's lives already. And so people are seeing how a new technology can change their lives, but that hasn't happened for cryptocurrency yet, unfortunately. And it's because of what I mentioned earlier, that learning curve is really steep for people. People are afraid to use it. They're afraid to make a mistake. It's you feel like you need to be tech savvy in order to use it. But with what we have created, we do believe that blockchain is going to ultimately help people all over the world. And in order to do that, we have to make it appeal to them. Not everybody says that they want to make people understand blockchain, which is great. And I agree. I'm excited about it too. I want people to know about it. But I think that it's more realistic to say that we should make it easy for people to use, so that way they enjoy using it. They want to use it. They want it to be part of their lives without feeling like they need to take, a college course in order to be confident with it. So we just make it look like Web 2, but it is Web 3.
So since it looks like Web 2, but it is Web 3, and if anyone's listening, they really want to get into it and say, okay, I'm going to try this. Is there anything on the market now that's using Xkova or a use case where it would be helpful to let someone know, okay, if you want to see how it functions or try to just go through and the routine, what do you suggest?
Oh, we have actually a public beta up. So Xkova isn't live yet. We're new. So if you go to beta.xkova.com, you can try out the app yourself. You can see how it all works. So right now, we made it so that way you can send cryptocurrency with just an email address. Like if I wanted to send you like $10, I would just put your email address in, put $10 and hit send, and it will send you $10. And this all
Sounds
works.
like Zelle. Wait, hold on, slow down. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
it is.
It sounds like Zelle. So
Yeah.
are you on Zelle? Is Zelle using Xkova? Or it's kind of
Well,
in that same business model?
Xkova could be the next Zelle, yes, but on blockchain. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting what we've done. But yes, and also we're adding, in the beta, we don't have it in, but we are adding text message functionality too. So if you wanted to, text your friend like money for pizza or whatever, you can just text them their phone number and it all runs on blockchain. So right now, our demo, when you look at it, you don't even see the blockchain at all. You go to it and it just looks like a normal app. But everything happening on there, the points, like, because you get points for shopping, like the cashback rewards, the actual payments, all use USDC, which is a stable coin. So, but the version that we're going to be releasing like next week, it looks the same, except everything's Bitcoin. And actually it's really interesting. I probably shouldn't leak the information. I'll just say this one little thing. So it's, obviously Bitcoin is very expensive. So, it is, impractical to just have Bitcoin. So we made it so that people can transact in Satoshis, which are a smaller unit of Bitcoin. So if you want to buy a cup of coffee, or as I mentioned, send money to your friend for pizza, you can do that even in Bitcoin. So yeah. And one of the cool things about Xkova is once you have one Xkova login for, like, just say you wanted to use the USDC version, if you wanted to use the Bitcoin version later, it's the same account. So we call that a federated login. So that way you can use all your cryptocurrencies and you're you, and you can use whatever you want.
So my brains are going right now because you got something that sounded like Zelle. You're using Web 2 in a way, but you're really using Web 3. You got blockchain in there. So that economy is going to be exploding. It's white label. So there's a lot happening with this. So basically you have a fulfillment piece that can really help with the mass adoption of blockchain. And out of all the blockchains, you're on Bitcoin. You just happen to be on the biggest one in regards to the monetary values at this time in some ways. And at the end of the day, it really sounds like you've got a new Zelle. So it should really take off. What are you worried about?
Oh, let me see. What am I worried about?
When I asked that question, it sounds really good. I'm glad it sounds so good because I was really looking forward to this conversation. So I normally couch this as what's the good, the bad, and the ugly, or what raises your eyebrow? What raises your eyebrow and what do you worry about?
Well, I would say that right now there's so much innovation happening that we are just heads down working as hard as we can because we want to get this out. Like right now we're in our beta, and so far we've had really amazing feedback from our early users. We have a couple hundred users already, but there are big people. Like, we're a small team. We're a small team that has a lot of experience in business. Like, we've both been business owners for 20 years, but we're a small team, and you have giants that are working on this stuff. Not exactly what we're working on. Like, see, the thing is that we are thinking of things a little bit differently than everybody else. Like, there are people who do consumer infrastructure, but not like we're doing it. So we want to be the first. So I guess that's the thing, like, we're just working as hard as we can to get our stuff out as fast as possible. So that way we can be first. So
I like the idea of you being first. I haven't heard of anything like this. I'm thinking about a lot of the conversations I've been in, and you've got really something going on here that's worth taking a peek at and making sure we pay attention to it.
thanks.
So, when you look at the world and you look at the geographies and the governments, what's happening on the governance side? Does anything look like it's going to impede the decentralization going forward, or where do you think there's going to be the gatekeepers or those that are going to help push it through?
Well, I think that like right now, nothing directs us, like impacts us directly. But I do think that I'm very excited to see regulations come out around cryptocurrency. I know that the Genius Act was just up like 2 days ago and it didn't pass, but I think that's okay because concerns were raised. It's a bipartisan stablecoin regulation act for the United States, which needs to happen. So once that can get passed, I think that will help institutions moving forward, because you see all of these big institutions wanting to be involved in it. And I mean, I think that that's important and exciting, but I do think that there needs to be a framework for people to work in so they know what they're doing. But we're going to see it. I mean, in the next couple of years, we'll see it for sure.
Well, I was curious. I was going to ask you, I'm kind of curious to know, why do you think everyone else is ahead of us in regards to crypto? What happened? I wasn't paying attention. Without getting political,
Well, I think that it's actually part of the learning curve issue, really. I mean, because people didn't need to do it. There was no pressure, If you were in a situation where you're facing like economic instability, that's a big incentive to get over that learning curve to try to use cryptocurrency. But for a place where there's not so much incentive because life is just generally okay where you're at, there's not so much like there wasn't that push, So in other areas of the world, they had a push. But we need to show people that ultimately it can benefit you. I mean, here in the United States or in Europe or wherever you are. So, making it the choice between it is as easy to use on both sides, but one saves me more money as a business and as a consumer. Well, they're going to use that one, And we do see big institutions coming out with their own stable coins, and they're still having what I feel are high fees, because they're trying to set a standard, because they have been, charging nearly 3%. So they'll charge just, a little bit less to use a stable coin, but it's still a lot, like 1.5%. So we think that they're trying to set it. We believe that the big companies are trying to set a standard now of like what they can get people used to paying. But we think that ultimately with blockchain, we can get those fees down.
I'm excited about this. So, are there any other events or projects that you like to share with us that you are looking at or thinking about, or something that you can let us know about? Because I'm really excited about the work you're doing and the possibilities and the benefits. I'm really excited about this.
Thank you very much. So I guess I won't talk about any other projects in that. I don't want to seem like I'm promoting anything, because I know that a lot of people just get really excited about cryptocurrency and they just want to invest in things. I don't want to give financial advice, but I will say that from my perspective, I see a lot of people getting excited about cryptocurrency. And one piece of advice that I don't see given often is that people should go on LinkedIn. I know you have a big presence on LinkedIn. A lot of people rely on, and I'm also on TikTok and on those places. I think it's important to be on there as well. But going on LinkedIn, you can follow the investors, follow the foundations, like find out, like my company was chosen to be part of a tech startup incubator. Like that is one of the things that helped us get off the ground. So if you look at other companies that are being chosen by these foundations or by these incubator programs, you can see who is aggressively building and, early. So that way you can see a project like ours that hasn't even launched yet. We're in beta.
I'm excited. How can they reach out to you? Where do you want them to go? How do they find you?
So you can find us on any social media at Xkova. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, we're just Xkova if you search there. My name is Candice Jarrett. I'm also very findable. I post a lot on X if you want to follow me there, at Candy Jarrett, CandiJarrett. But I'll give the links to Donna. Maybe you can share them in the video description.
They'll be on your page. You have a whole page, video, audio, links, everything
you
about
so
you. I'm really excited about having Candice Jarrett and Xkova. I'm going to be following them very closely, probably have her back, and you're going to be seeing her quite a bit. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening and shaping tomorrow together.
Thanks, Donna.
Thanks for tuning in to Pivoting to Web3 Podcast. If you're a developer, innovator, or AI expert with insights to share, or if you're looking to partner, let's connect. Visit MitchellUniversalNetwork.com and be part of the conversation. Want more content? Check out my playlist for more episodes. See you next time.